There are certain gender stereotypes that like to dictate our actions and interests. For example, men should pay for the check or women should like flowers. Because of these stereotypes, we often misunderstand what the other gender likes or wants. We end up just doing things based on societal expectation or habit. There are a lot of things that women secretly want from men that men rarely do because of these expectations. Here at Relentless Man, we're going to be telling you what exactly these secret things are and how you can satisfy them. If you like this video, feel free to hit subscribe and click on the bell to get notified when we upload next. Asking if they can pay. Contrary to many men's beliefs, women don't like it when they do things like picking up the check without asking first. That expectation that the man should pay is dated and doesn't need to be perpetuated. It's not chivalrous to pay just because the other person is a woman, especially if there was no previous agreement for who pays the check. It's disrespectful to not consider the woman's opinion and just expect her to think the same as you. It makes her feel like she doesn't have a choice or that her choice doesn't matter to you. So, always ask if you can pay or discuss beforehand who should pay before actually paying. The woman might want to pay, you never know until you ask. It's actually more preferable these days for the person who initiated the date to pay. Since they decided on the location, they should pay. Or you can always take turns. Treat women as your equals. Asking if they can carry your stuff. Similar to paying the check, men seem to have a habit of carrying the woman's luggage or other belongings without being asked. No one likes having their belongings touched if permission wasn't given. You should always ask if they need help or offer to carry their things before doing so. It's more polite and gives them a choice in the matter. It's fine to assume someone wants help, especially if they have a lot of luggage, but there needs to be a conversation before you get involved in the matter. Women will appreciate that much more than you just picking up their stuff out of nowhere. Letting them order. Some men like ordering for their dates, which may be well intended but most likely not appreciated. Unless you talked about her order beforehand, you should not be ordering for the woman. Even if she has a regular meal she gets, you should still make sure that she gets what she wants before ordering. She may want to add things or simply want the choice to order for herself. Basically, it's safer to just not order for her unless she asks or gives you permission to do it. It can come off as really presumptuous if you assume you know what she wants without asking. That arrogance can feel demeaning, so as always, talk about it beforehand. Good dress sense. Women really appreciate it if men make the effort to dress nicely. This doesn't mean knowing all the latest trends or being super fashionable, you just need to know that you care about how you look. Women make the effort to look nice, and men should return that effort. It shows that you care enough about them to dress up for them. Emotional vulnerability. Women like it when men show emotional vulnerability and talk about their feelings. It shows that you trust them enough to let them into your heart. Emotional intimacy is a great way of getting closer to someone. Letting women be privy to your feelings and relying on them for emotional support shows great faith and honesty. This lets women feel like they matter to you and can help them see you for who you are. True chivalry. True chivalry is chivalry that's displayed regardless of gender. Seeing someone act polite and courteous to everyone, even if they're not female, shows that you're an all-around nice person. Doing it only for women makes you seem dated, since you're following an age-old tradition that's no longer relevant. Saying things like ladies first is not charming. It just makes it feel like you're doing it out of some misguided sense of obligation, like it's your duty instead of out of genuine politeness. Similar to picking up the check, the tradition shouldn't be perpetuated. You can still hold doors open for others, just don't make it about gender. Don't treat women differently. Treat them as equals. Women may even want to hold doors open for you, and you should let them. Being chivalrous is not something that pertains only to men. Offering to cook. Don't just assume that the woman will cook in any given situation unless it's already been agreed upon. Try offering to cook or ask if she wants to cook. Women really appreciate it when a man offers to cook for them. It shows that they care enough to put in the effort to cook them a homemade meal. You don't have to be the best cook, even the gesture alone can be nice. As long as you try your best to cook, your efforts will be heard. A woman may not also feel up to cooking, so it always pays to ask and check if she wants to cook. It shows care and attention, which makes women feel appreciated. If it turns out she doesn't want to cook, you could offer to cook or suggest an alternative like dinner at a restaurant or takeout. Checking whether a gift is inappropriate. Men sometimes assume that women always want flowers or chocolates as gifts, which definitely isn't true. While they are a staple romantic gift, not all women like flowers or chocolates. Some might even be allergic to them, so it always pays to ask or check beforehand whether a gift is appropriate. You can do this by finding out their interests. If flowers or chocolates aren't among these interests, it's best to avoid giving them those things. Try buying something they actually seem interested in. The more personal a gift is, the more romantic and heartfelt it is. Being humble. Women don't like it when men brag about things like their money or the size of their house. It's not attractive and makes you seem really shallow and narcissistic. Being too boastful also makes it seem like you're trying too hard to impress, and desperation isn't appealing. Bragging about such shallow things also makes women think that those things are all that matter to you. Taking an interest in their hobbies. Women love it when men genuinely try to take an interest in their hobbies, regardless of whether they're feminine coded. It shows that you want to get to know them more and take part in what makes them happy. It also makes women feel heard. It's nice to passively listen to someone talk about their hobbies, but it's another thing to actively try to learn about it. Making such efforts will show women that you care enough to try something new for them. Helping out with chores. Help out around the house. We're long past the tradition of only women doing household chores and only men going out to work. Try to help them with the chores around the house, especially if there's a lot to do. It shows care and appreciation and allows them to take a break if needed. Remembering anniversaries. You don't have to memorize anniversaries by heart, but noting it down or setting a reminder at least shows that you're making an effort to remember it. The effort alone can be worth something. Even if anniversaries aren't that important to you personally, you should appreciate the fact that it means a lot to the other person. If you happen to forget about an anniversary for whatever reason, make sure to apologize and try to make up for it. Don't just brush it off as if it's not a big deal. It might very well be one for the woman. Being romantic. A little bit of romance now and then can be greatly appreciated. This doesn't mean you have to make grand gestures or give expensive gifts. What's much better is something thought out and personal. Make sure that the romantic gesture is something that's specific to that one woman. Don't make it something super generic that could apply to anyone. It's much more romantic to personalize it for that special someone. There are many things women want from men that they tend to not do. It can be hard to determine what these things are, but as a general rule of thumb, you shouldn't do things you wouldn't want done to you. Try to forget about the gender boundaries and treat them as equals. Thanks for watching. We hope this video helped you. If you have any other questions, try checking out our other videos. You might just find what you're looking for.